Ladies and gentlemen, we're back with Real Deal Talk and Epic 61 fighter interviews. 1 week from today, the 23rd May, is Epic 61. Get your tickets, ladies and gentlemen. In the house right now, in the Real Deal Talk podcast studio, we have the Epic 61 videographer and content creator. He works for other organizations as well and gyms, which I'm going to let him shout out, but I just want to kind of give you what he does right now with Epic. My man right here, Simone Haugwitz.
Yes, sir.
That's a name, bro.
Yeah.
Simone Haugwitz. That's a powerful name. That's like an actor name, right? You should be in Hollywood.
Yeah, one day.
Simone Haugwitz. I love that, dude. What kind of name is that?
So my mom is Spanish. That's where you got the
Yeah,
Simone.
of course.
And then my dad is German. So I got that blend right there.
Bada
That's where you
bing.
get
Look
the
at that.
Haugwitz.
Simone.
Yeah.
Wow. Beautiful. All right, so let's talk real quick. So I know you're short on time here, but you're a videographer, content creator. I know you do work for Epic right now. Give me some other gyms that you're working with. Give me some of what you're doing, what your passion is. Let's get what we want to do here is shout you out, get some people that are watching that might need your services or don't know that you exist. Let's make sure they know you exist. So what other gyms, what other organizations are you working with now, and tell me what your passion is.
Absolutely. So other gyms that I'm working with right now, I'm working with the training center, Chris Lieben's gym.
Chris Lieben, yep.
Doing social media stuff for them.
Nice.
And then I've worked with Victory in the past. That's mainly just fighter spotlight videos.
Yep.
That's sort of my bread and butter.
Yep.
That's what I do. Pre-fight promo fighter spotlights.
Yep.
So I've done a couple with Victory, and then the Arena. I've worked with some boxers over there, and very extensively with their MMA team. That's sort of where I got started. That's where I got my first opportunity.
Yeah.
And they are actually opening up a new gym right now in sort of the Coronado area, right by the Navy base over there.
Yeah.
Called Teams MMA. So I'm helping out with that as well.
Nice. Teams MMA,
Yeah.
which makes sense. It's down there because that's where the teams train.
Absolutely.
Right?
Yep.
So what got you into that? How did you, number one, obviously you probably got into videography a while ago, but then how did you get into the fighting stuff?
Well, I got into videography just over a year ago.
That's it.
Yeah, just over a year ago. So I was doing production for a podcast that I had since college.
Yeah.
That was sort of my gig. And I wasn't really that happy with how things were going. It was kind of slowing down. And we had an MMA fighter on as a guest. And so I talked to him a little bit, and he said he needed some promo work done. And I'd never really stepped into that before, never really picked up a camera with the intent to do video. So I told him, well, give me a couple weeks, let me work with you a little bit, and let me see if I can take a stab at it. And he gave me that first opportunity, and I just took it and ran with it. Shot on that same camera. It was actually my old high school camera from back in 2013, 2014. Yeah. Was shooting on that for about 10 months, and then splurged for some better equipment. And now I'm just off to the races with it.
Wow. So it stemmed from there.
Yeah.
And then did you look for other clients? Did they find you? How did people see your work?
Well, this job is very much self-starter. You got to go out and find the people that you're going to work with. So a lot of that was just building a portfolio of work over the first 6 to 8 months.
Yep.
And then just really going to other promotions, other gyms, and saying, listen, I can do this stuff for you too. And the real struggle was just finding the people that I actually wanted to work with.
Yep.
Because there's obviously plenty of athletes, plenty of gyms that just the way they do things doesn't really interest me. I'd rather because what I want to do is tell the story of the fighters. At the end of the day, that's sort of what I want to do with this whole thing.
Yeah.
I think that it's sort of our responsibility to take these athletes that put everything into this game and tell their story.
Yep.
How they started, what they're going through now, because especially in this sport, the peaks and the valleys are so much higher and deeper than other sports.
Oh yeah,
like
totally.
When you're on top of the world, you got that belt wrapped around your shoulder, you couldn't feel any better.
Right.
But then you got those days in the training room where you don't think you can do anything right.
Yep.
And just sort of getting into that mental disparity between the two is something that I find beautiful.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then if you, God forbid, you take a loss.
Yeah,
oh,
100%.
Talk about depression.
100%. Yeah, and I think that that's part of the thing that I'm sort of learning now is having that camera out even in the moments where it kind of seems uncomfortable to film. But you just know that when they eventually come back after that loss, if you can have that footage from the actual loss and work it into the video, it just adds so much more dynamic
100%.
Sort of emotion into the video, because then, like I said, that's when you get those peaks and valleys.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. And I'll tell you right now, man, like I'm sure that some don't even want to film that. It's
Absolutely.
so bad.
Yeah, and I've gotten that 100% where they're like, dude, I don't want to be filmed right now. Turn off the camera. And at that point, it's kind of my decision, and it's how well do I know the athlete? Because there's some guys that they're really close friends of mine.
Yes.
So I kind of think I have a little bit more of that leeway to not necessarily stick a camera in their face,
Right.
but maybe give them some distance, but kind of shoot from the side and really capture that emotion that's going on in the moment.
Yeah.
But obviously, you have some guys that you haven't been working with all that long. Maybe at that point, you do turn the camera off.
And so to get your business here, do you have a business name? What's your business name?
Fight Flow Media.
Fight Flow Media.
Yeah, on Instagram.
On Instagram.
Yeah, it's a business as well.
Do you have a website as well?
Yes, sir.
Fightflowmedia.com.
Absolutely.
Beautiful. Okay, so tell me, like, if you're looking for, because all fighters are watching this video, these interviews.
Yeah.
So if they're looking at you right now, who's your client that would be ideal to come to you, and what is their motivation? Like, what would their motivation need to be on their end to come hire you to do what you do? Like, walk me through that. Does that make sense? Who's your perfect client?
I'd say, well, you had Ruby in here earlier.
Yeah.
I've worked with her.
Yeah.
She is one of the best examples of that. Like, just hard work, dedication, Yeah. And there's nothing pretty to it. It's just grit. I've been in the gym with her when she does her strength and conditioning sessions. I've gone over to their house, which is where her dad, Bobby, does strength and conditioning with her in the garage. And there's certain times where I was even uncomfortable filming in there because it's just so grueling. And she's just getting after it so hard.
Good Lord.
And she's just like screaming and like doesn't really want to stop, but her body is kind of telling her like, this is all you got. And then she still finds that extra gear. So it's like that sort of thing where it's just hard work, dedication. There's no prettiness to it. That's my perfect athlete. Because then that's where I can take that, dissect it a little bit, talk to some coaches where I can get a little bit of that extra third point of view of how hard those guys work, and just tell your story. Really, that's all it is.
So why would let me rephrase the question? Perfect answer, by the way. I love that. I love the story about Ruby, man. God,
she's awesome.
She's so freaking sweet.
Yeah, that's the other thing too. You wouldn't expect.
You would
it
never
at
know.
all. But then if you go back and watch her fights, the second she steps in that cage, it is a different girl in there. Yeah.
It's not even a girl; it's a killer.
Yeah, like her face is.
She goes, "I like hitting
different.
people." What's she like? I like.
She
her.
said the exact same thing in the interview that I did for my video.
Yeah.
She's like, "I just like punching people in the face. I like my sparring sessions," and that's how can you not love that?
Yeah. How could you not want to follow her?
Exactly.
Okay, so on that note, why would an athlete? Because listen, let's be frank here. Most of these athletes don't have the money to hire
Absolutely.
you.
Yeah.
It takes money.
Yeah.
So it has to be worth it for them. Why would it be worth an athlete to bring you on? What will you do for them? Because at the end of the day, that's what it's all about.
Yeah.
It's great just telling a story. If they've got it like that and they've got the money just to tell their story, cool, yay, that's awesome. But it has to be something in it for them.
Yeah.
So let's talk about what's in it for the fighter to come hire you.
Well, for one, exposure.
Okay.
Not many videographers, especially working with amateur fighters, are willing to put in the time to tell the story the way that I'm willing to tell.
Love it.
So when you're going to matchmakers telling them, let me get a fight,
Come on.
the first thing they're going to want to see is any content that you have.
Perfect.
Obviously, any past fights is golden, but anything sort of behind the scenes like what I'm doing, that's money for them.
Beautiful.
That's money for them. So yeah, just helping
That's
them out.
exactly what I wanted to get out there.
Yeah.
Because
100%.
now that makes sense.
And then also, like, especially with what I'm doing for this event, is going to the promotion instead of the athlete, because the promotion has all of these athletes already sort of grouped up. I go to the promotion, I say, listen, this is the work I've done in the past for individual athletes. Let me take your 2 best matchups or your 3 best matchups. If you got 3 title fights on the card, let me go in, work with each of the fighters in that matchup and sort of promote the fight that way too. Get them talking a little bit about the matchup itself, about their opponents. And then from there, you start building hype not only on the athlete, but on the matchup itself. That brings more eyeballs into Epic, and it helps everybody.
Of course. So these fighters, you are perfect for them if they're looking to advance their career. Plain and simple.
100%.
Plain and simple.
That's it.
Because this isn't just about them getting notoriety and being famous. In fact, it's not at all. What it is about is getting them fights. Because then if you get fights, and you, in Main Street Matty's words, if you finish, you move up.
1,000%.
People want you on the card if you finish.
Listen, at the end of the day, it's a fight promotion.
That's it.
You got to go up.
You got to go
The
up.
only way to go up is to prove that you can make that next step.
Yeah.
And the best way to prove that you can make that next step is show that you're putting in the work. What's the best way to show you're putting in the work? Film it.
Film it. Exactly what you do.
Yeah.
Oh, dude, this was great because I know you're short on time, so
yeah.
that was perfect that we got that out there as far as exactly why would a fighter do that? Like, why would it be worth it?
Yeah.
Now it makes total sense.
Absolutely.
That's if you're a fighter, only if you want to advance your career. If you want to just chill out and fight for fun and hang out in the gym, and that's fine.
That's fine.
He's not.
Yeah.
He's man here. Simone's not for you.
Yeah.
But if you're looking to advance in the fight world, and get fights and move up and go pro, whatever the case is, you need Simone.
Yep.
Love it, bro. All right, man. Anything else you want to sign off on? Any other shout out to anybody? Shout out to Jason.
Shout out to Jason. Shout out to Epic. Shout out to everything that they're doing for these athletes. And besides that, shout out to all the people that have taken a chance on me to begin with. Shout out to Bobby Winther, Taylor Fox, all the guys at Teams MMA now. And yeah, I can't wait to keep progressing in this game.
I love it, dude. Simone, this was fantastic. My man, let's go. Can't wait to see you at the fight. Simone Haugwitz, my brother. You can find him on, give him the website and the name of the business again.
Fight Flow Media on Instagram and fightflowmedia.com. You can check out my portfolio and you can book me for a shoot.
Simone, ladies and gentlemen, Real Deal Talk, Epic 61, Friday the 23rd, May 23rd. Get your tickets. Buy the pay-per-view, too, to Main Street Maddie. Let's go. That's a wrap.